Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Friday, May 11th, 2012. There is a lot to cover this morning, so let's get right into the charts. We'll start off with the S&P 500 E-mini futures. You'll see here that they are trading lower by 8.5 points right now to 13.49 per contract. That tells us one thing. When the futures are lower, the dollar is usually higher. And that is the story this morning. Dollar trading higher again this morning to around $80.36 per contract. Dollar was as high as almost $8.47, $8.48, $80.48 earlier in the overnight session. So dollar up, market down. That's just the way it goes. There's a lot going on. We're going to start off with JP Morgan today. We'll skip the rest until later, but let's go right to JP Morgan because this is where the news is coming from. The stock is getting hammered lower this morning, trading down to $37.41. The stock closed yesterday at $40.74. So a pretty big decline on JP Morgan. The company coming out with news saying that they took a big loss in their derivative department. And the London whale, and you probably have heard about him for time and time again, really is the main culprit of this loss, so to speak. We're getting details in drips and drabs, and we'll find out. A couple of things you want to take note about this. It wasn't that long ago, or I believe a week or two ago, that Prudential came out with news saying that they took a big loss as well. And if I just go to a Prudential chart here, a daily chart, you're going to see after earnings, the stock was down pretty significantly and has been going lower. They said that they took a big derivative loss. So now this is ultimately the second company with JP Morgan to come out and report that they're going to take a big derivative loss. We can only wonder what's going on in the derivative world because it's really not that transparent. But one thing I've learned years ago and is if there's one cockroach, there's a million. So watch all these financials today. They should all be down. Goldman Sachs will be down in sympathy. Morgan Stanley should be down as well, although Morgan is a little bit off the lows. Stock is down a little bit today. Watch the rest of these financials out here. If JP Morgan did it, Prudential took a derivative loss a week or two ago. They talked about it. There's probably more derivative losses out here. So we have to watch and see how these financials react. So either way, be on guard today. This is going to be a very, very volatile trading session. We don't know if this JP Morgan so-called London whale is just a London whale, or is he really the Moby Dick of it all, or is he just one cockroach out of 10 million that are doing this? So again, let's see what happens here. But nonetheless, the financial stocks will be under pressure, led by the most important financial of them all, JP Morgan Chase. So we'll see how that all plays out. All right, a couple of other things to go over because there is a lot today. One thing I want to note is that China came out with industrial production results last night. Growth was worse than expected. They did grow, but I believe the growth was year over year. It really declined. So again, the CPI rose in China, and bottom line is that the index was down. Most of Asia was down last night. Probably more off of the JP Morgan news, but either way, China is slowing down. India is slowing down. Asia sold off across the board. It wasn't a big down night. It wasn't a night where the markets plummeted, but down across the board, and that should be noted. The Shanghai was down 0.6%. Indian Sensex was down about 0.8%. So either way, a decent decline there. So we'll watch the Asian markets. If the U.S. markets are weak today, which they are right now, just expect the Chinese ADRs to be weak and most Asian ADRs to be weak. Okay, so we'll watch that closely. Right now, the European markets are all lower across the board. Spain is down 2%, which is not unusual. That stock index could be down or up 2 or 3% any given day. But most of the other indexes are just slightly lower. The CAC 40 is down 1%. So just to note, Spain is leading the charge there in the decline for the European markets. Now, we do have gold down 12 points today. We also have oil down another $1. So we'll keep note of that. But let's take a look at the GLD this morning. You'll see that that is trading lower, down at 153.86. It was a little bit, it was down even more earlier, but has come back a little bit. But it is still down sharply, and that's a new low for the GLD. new multi-month low. I think a 3-month low. Take a look at the USO this morning. Yeah, USO is sitting tight at 36.39. Yesterday it closed at 36.61. So you see USO trading lower as well. And again, it's just about everything that's going on. Everything is deflating. If the dollar moves up, everything will continue to deflate. But I got to tell you, you'll be able to buy more with the U.S. dollar, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. I view it as actually a good thing. Let's take a look at a few stocks that are in the news today. We're going to start off with NVIDIA. NVIDIA had earnings, so let's take a look at that stock first. NVIDIA is trading higher to 1350. That's a big level here for the chart, the 1350 level. So watch this area. If it can get through there, NVIDIA has more upside to go. This is a strong gap up. So this is a nice little move for NVIDIA. I would probably watch the 1450 level as big resistance. I don't know if the stock gets up there today, but that would be the bigger resistance level that I'm seeing, 1450, 1455 at the moment. But a good move for a solid move for NVIDIA this morning, and it's a strong gap, so I would not try to fade it. I would not try to short the stock. Let's take a look at JWN, which is Nordstrom. This is a leading retailer in the United States. Very, very good move for, well, I shouldn't say a very good move, but the stock closed yesterday at 53.53. The stock's trading down at 51.75. It's a decent drop. It's a decent drop. It's not a huge drop. Nordstrom, in my opinion, is going to probably have some support levels coming up. Let me just see what I have here on my screen. Yeah, you're going to have you have pretty good support around 51. And then after that, watch the 49.43 level. If it gets down there, I think it's a bounce play. So watch 49.43 for Nordstrom if it does get down there. And it very well could in a down day like this. It's going to be right around 49.50, 49. Yeah, right in that 49.50, 49.45 area. There's a good little bounce in Nordstrom right there. So watch that level if it does get down there. Okay? So keep that on watch. And then we have ARNA, which is pharmaceutical. Let's punch that one. This is Arena Pharmaceuticals. This stock is getting a huge bid today. Closed at 350. Looks like they got some kind of FDA favorable results from the FDA. It's not an approval, but it's a favorable result letter, I guess. The stock is trading up. I wouldn't do anything with it. I wouldn't buy the stock here either because I think it is a little bit overbought. But nonetheless, strong little move. We'll see if it holds up. I think it has a good chance to hold up because it is positive drug news. However, it is overbought. Do not chase the stock up here. A lot of resistance right around the $8 level. You're going back to the high that was made, I believe, in August of 2010. So very good resistance level up here at $8. I'm not saying to short it. Just leave it alone. There's really not a lot to do there. Alrighty, everybody. With that said, it is a Friday. We'll watch for news coming out at 8:30. It'll be out. In fact, it's out right now. It's out right now. We do have April Producer Price Index. April PPI core rate is up 0.2%. So let's just see how the markets react. And we don't really even care about the news. And we're still in the same spot there. So again, we're still basically in that same area. No real change there. The dollar is starting to fall, so that may help the markets. Let's take a look at the U.S. dollar index quickly. Yeah, you see the dollar is starting to come down, and that will help inflate the markets off the lows. So again, watch that closely. But if the dollar moves lower, the markets will inflate and trade higher. And you already see the market getting just a little bid. But nonetheless, futures are still down 8 points as we start here. But definitely off the lows a little bit as the dollar starts to flush lower. And remember, if the dollar goes down, the markets inflate, gold inflates, silver inflates, everything inflates. Here's the dollar moving lower. So we'll have to watch this and see how it settles in. But either way, right now futures are down about 8 points. Alrighty, everybody. With that said, have a great weekend. We'll see you all on the charts Monday morning. Take care, and we'll see you then.